As a competitor on season 23 of American Idol, fans have come to know John Foster. Fans have been curious about him since his audition. Viewers are curious about Foster's special someone after learning about her recently. After trying out for Alan Jackson's Don't Rock the Jukebox and Conway Twitty's Goodbye Time, Foster entered the show. Since then, Foster has performed songs including Something to Talk About by Bonnie Raitt and Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley. He also sang an original song, Tell That Angel I Love Her, at a heartfelt moment, honoring his late friend Maggie Dunn. Foster advanced to the top 7 after the Judges Song Contest on a recent show. Carrie Underwood chose the song, I Cross My Heart, by George Strait for him to perform. But the previous evening, Foster revealed that he had a romantic partner, shattering hearts. Luke Bryan spotted a bunch of girls yelling for him during the Ladies' Night performance. They were his pals, cousin, and girlfriend, he clarified. However, some fans may already be aware of Brooklyn Burke, Foster's girlfriend. She frequently shows up in pictures with the hopeful idol on social media. Burke celebrated her boyfriend's appearance on the show with a message on Instagram. She revealed at the time, he's headed to Hollywood. Being with you on this amazing trip makes me incredibly proud and thankful. I am very fortunate to be in love with someone as adorable as you, and you never cease to amaze me. Throughout the American Idol season, Burke has continued to feature in postings with Foster. She posted a picture of herself standing next to him, notably sans his signature hat, after he qualified for the top 8. She wrote, "My guy, so proud of you, I love you," as the caption. Fans have been posting their personal responses to the two together on social media. As they do for the happy pair, commentators on Idol have, of course, been expressing their support for Foster. Among the remarks are, "Precious picture. I'm cheering you on, man. He is fantastic. Even if he loses, I have no doubt that he will perform admirably. He's a natural. John Foster is incredibly gifted and has the potential to become more than just a legend, he might even become the next king of his country. You guys are simply adorable. Congratulations. This evening, you will be in our thoughts and prayers. Once again, I want to thank Brooklyn and you for last night. We were really grateful." The familiar chords of the American Idol theme song started to play as the stage lights went down and the final echoes of ovation subsided. However, the excitement this evening extended beyond the performances. A topic that had been brewing for weeks was raging on social media: who is John Foster's girlfriend? Foster, John. During this season of American Idol, the name itself had come to represent effortless coolness and unadulterated, genuine talent. He had drawn national notice from his first audition, which was a heartbreaking, stripped-down performance of a traditional blues tune in a darkened pub. With unexpected ease, his deep baritone voice, which had a trace of grit, could transition from a strong belt to a gentle whisper. He had a smile that could melt glaciers, a natural charm, and a relaxed assurance that was almost mysterious. He was a storyteller as well as a singer, and each performance was a chapter in an engrossing tale. However, as his fame grew, so did the conjecture around his private life. John had a very secluded life. John remained a mystery while the other applicants were happy to give bits and pieces of their life, including uncomfortable first date experiences, painful family reunions, and views into their hometowns. He talked passionately about his music and humbly about his journey, but if the topic turned to something more intimate, he would smile politely and say something like, "I'm just focusing on the music right now." The fire was only stoked by this hesitation. The internet, a wide space for conjecture and amateur investigative work, exploded. Every quick look, every informal conversation, and every nuanced word in his own compositions were examined for hints. Did he have on a ring? Did his neck have a hickey? Who was the audience member who appeared to be observing him with more than just admiration? The ideas were as diverse as the musical styles featured on the program. There were many who thought he was secretly married, with his spouse hidden away from the spotlight. Others believed that he was in a long-distance relationship with his girlfriend, who was encouraging him from a distance. Though neither John nor any of the other singers showed any signs of a relationship, there were even rumors of a developing romance with a contender. Every night, The hashtag, johnfostergirlfriend, was trending. After a spring downpour, fan accounts devoted to finding the truth sprang like wildflowers. Extensive ideas that were assembled from hazy paparazzi photographs, misconstrued social media posts, and sheer, unadulterated wishful thinking were all over the forums. A lady who had frequently been spotted in the audience during John's concerts was the subject of one widely accepted notion. Her eyes appeared to gleam even from the top balcony, and her hair was a blazing red. She was a gorgeous woman. At the very least, she wasn't a well-known star. During his most emotional performances, she would cheer enthusiastically and perhaps wipe away a tear. She was always seated a few seats back from the judges' table in a designated area. Her moniker among fans was, the redhead mystery. Was she his girlfriend? His sister? An really devoted fan? The rumors were rife. A mysterious line in one of John's original songs, a heartfelt lament about missing someone, was the subject of another speculation. The city lights don't shine as bright without your smile, was the lyric in question. Ever the literary critics, fans searched the nation's maps for locations with especially dazzling lights. Was New York where his girlfriend was? Vegas? Tokyo? There were countless options, and each one led to a fresh round of internet research. The public was curious about the judges, who are often so preoccupied with stage presence and singing ability. "John, you have a voice that could melt hearts," Lionel Richie had said nonchalantly during one of the live performances, his eyes sparkling. "You've probably broken a few too." John had only shrugged and grinned, a tacit admission that did little to stop the gossip. Once, during a review, Katy Perry, ever the fun provocateur, had questioned him directly, "So, John, is there anyone special who's inspiring these beautiful love songs?" "My music is inspired by life, Katy," John said, blushing a little. "Everything." Although it was a tactful response, everyone was left wanting more. Naturally, the show's creators were well aware of the public's interest. The mystery girlfriend plot was unquestionably effective for viewers, even if they maintained John's privacy. Although they didn't aggressively encourage the rumors, they also didn't dissuade them. In a veiled reference to the current internet discussion, the camera would sometimes linger on the redhead mystery in the crowd. The pressure to reveal John's personal life increased as the competition drew closer and he continued to put up jaw-dropping performances. John Foster, the man, the voice, the mystery girlfriend. And is American Idol's hottest star hiding a secret love? Were among the headlines that the tabloids carried. In an attempt to get a peek of the elusive woman, paparazzi trailed him. One night, following a particularly impactful performance, John was cornered backstage by a reporter from a big entertainment news organization. "John, the fans are dying to know," she said, her voice brimming with excitement. "Do you have a particular someone in your life? Do you have a partner?" John hesitated, a contemplative look on his face. The microphones were pushed in his direction, and the cameras began rolling. Now was the time. Finally, he could confirm or refute the rumors, put an end to them, and maybe even present the woman who had won his heart. Rather, he smiled that recognizable, mysterious smile. "At the moment, my music is my life," he murmured quietly. "And the chance to share it with all of you is what I love." The reporter's disappointment was evident. A mixture of fresh resolve and frustration emerged in the internet community. He had acknowledged it. He hadn't given it his word. He had just deflected, thus the mystery remained unbroken. The season continued. John kept getting better, his performances becoming more nuanced and vulnerable. He sung about the intricacies of human connection, loss, and optimism. The mystery girlfriend storyline was fueled by the intensely personal feel of each song. Was his present relationship the subject of his song? A previous romantic relationship? A longing for love? A dazzling display of lights, music, and anxious excitement marked the arrival of the big finale. One of the last two competitors was John. One could feel the tension in the arena. The truth was coming, not just about who would win the title of Next American Idol, but also about whether or not the mystery surrounding John Foster would be resolved at last. Host Ryan Seacrest made his customary rounds, speaking with the judges, participants, and their families before to the final results being revealed. With a playful twinkle in his eye, he walked over to John. "John," Ryan said, his voice booming across the arena, "your amazing talent has enthralled us throughout the season. You have, nevertheless, also held us in suspense. The internet is booming. Everyone wants to know, has there been a particular person in your life who has helped you along the way?" John's face was magnified by the camera. He glanced first at the judges, then out at the applauding audience, and lastly straight into the camera. There was silence throughout the arena. Viewers in the millions held their breath. He inhaled deeply. "This journey has been amazing, Ryan," he added in a clear and calm voice. "Indeed, there is a unique individual." The audience emitted a collective gasp. The internet world took off. Instantly popular hashtags were Wish and johnfostergirlfriend revealed. Ryan grinned broadly. "And could you identify that person for us?" As John's eyes changed, the camera moved with him. It fell on the redhead mystery, in front of the crowd, who was now grinning and crying. With love and care in his voice, John replied, "Her name is Sarah. And for the past 3 years, she has been my greatest friend, my staunchest ally, and the love of my life." Cheers and clapping exploded around the crowd. Sarah hid her face in her hands, overcome with emotion. The moment, the unadulterated emotion, and the years of silent support were finally revealed by the cameras. Ever the showman, Ryan approached Sarah. "I appreciate you being here and helping John, Sarah. How does it feel to have your relationship publicly known at last?" Sarah mustered a grin despite her voice quivering a little. "It feels incredible. He makes me so very proud. He deserves all of this because he has worked so hard." The riddle was resolved. There was a name for the redhead mystery. She was more than simply a devoted admirer. She was his anchor, his companion, and the one who had supported him even before American Idol made headlines. That was a pivotal moment. Although attention soon returned to the competition's outcome, John ultimately won the title of Next American Idol, a triumph that was made even more delightful with Sarah at his side. The revelation of his romance gave his tale a deeper dimension. He became more relatable and humanized as a result, which only served to increase his popularity. A few additional views into John and Sarah's lives were revealed in the days and weeks that followed. They talked about how John was performing at a tiny, neighborhood music venue when they first met. They discussed the difficulties of preserving their bond through the demanding Idol schedule, the late-night phone conversations, and the moments they were able to spend together. Being a graphic designer, Sarah was a creative person who was aware of the demands of John's career. The story of John Foster's Girlfriend turned into an intriguing case study of the influence of internet rumors and people's unquenchable interest in the private lives of their favorite celebrities. It demonstrated how a well-kept secret might ignite a flurry of internet activity, transforming a straightforward inquiry into a national obsession. In hindsight, it was evident that John had not been attempting to be purposefully evasive or manipulative. He was just a private individual attempting to preserve the most significant relationship in his life while adjusting to the unexpected public spotlight. His hesitation wasn't a premeditated action, rather, it was a sincere want for solitude in a society where openness was becoming more and more important. Additionally, the revelation of Sarah provided a satisfactory finish for the fans who had been guessing, theorizing, and arguing for weeks. She was just the lady he loved and a silent source of support in his life. She wasn't a famous person or a spectacular figure from his past. It served as a reminder that often the most moving tales are the most straightforward ones, those that are based on sincere affection and connection. John Foster went on to have a prosperous career in music, putting out albums that demonstrated his poignant lyrics and soulful voice. And through it all, Sarah was at his side, no longer a mystery, but a cherished character in his public persona, a silent monument to the strength of love in the limelight. Finally, the solution to the question, who is John Foster's girlfriend, was better than anyone could have guessed. It was a narrative of skill, tenacity, and love that survived the storm of celebrity, demonstrating that genuine connection is the most exquisite melody of all, even in the glittering realm of American Idol.